grant and we avoid these instances. So we wrote to the minister, or executive mayor signed the letter to the minister where we were requesting the earlier approval of the business plan so we can start or commence spending. And additionally, what we said as well was we shall be continuing implementing the projects whilst we are awaiting the approval of the minister. That was the proactive approach that we did in this financial year. And I must say thank to the minister because within a week, the minister approved the business plan and we commence work implementing the project.
But
I want to
that basically means your problem was not the minister. That's what it means.
The problem on our side, Honorable Chairperson, was to commence spending whilst you have not been confirmed that the business plan is 100% correct and you can go ahead and implement. So that was one of the strategies that we employed, wanting to improve the situation.
So we are saying, in the past, you have been doing a business plan late.
Of the business plans have been late.
Now that I want exactly the clear distinction. You did your business plan on time. The minister is one who was delaying you.
The approval would be coming right in the financial year, Chairperson.
Finish the grants, yeah.
And I think one other delay that was identified by Councillor Mafana, as he mentioned, was where we've got some issues like your environmental issues, you cannot proceed. And what we also did, Chairperson, to make sure that we improve the spending, it was reprioritizing projects that are moving so that we can amend the budget. I think in December, the budget was approved, an amendment of a budget against projects that are within the business plan. So that was also another strategy that we employed for these grants for us to be improving spending. If I go to the third one, Chairperson, which is quite paining for me and quite an amount, it's what is called Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant. If I'm allowed, I will also request my colleague, because on this one we had technical problems from the beginning of the implementation of this grant. In this grant, proactively, when we had engagements with National Treasury, I think around August 2025, we came to an agreement that let us apply as a city for what is called surrendering, because there were issues that would be delaying the implementation of the project. The project is talking to the water-related projects that are being implemented by an entity, Cooperative Development Corporation, on behalf of the municipality. However, there were challenges that were being experienced which would result to a delay in implementing the project. So in this case, we went to an extent proactively of applying for surrendering. And we were given a date that on or before the 15th of September 2025, we must submit. Surrendering, meaning that the money funds can be availed in the following financial year. So in this one, unfortunately, the response was not received, and instead it was the reduction that we received. I'm sure my colleagues and councillor on the other side can also add in. So that's what happened in the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant. So a reduction of 110 million rand was made. The energy efficiency reduction was 3.9 million rand. This one is under electricity and energy. I'm sure as well the colleagues of electricity and energy can explain as to what they have done. Thanks, Chair. So if I talk based on this report, again on a grant by grant member Taibosh, when we prepared the report, this one was on the 27th of April, when we prepared the spending report on all these conditional capital related grants. So for instance, the first one, 450.3 million rand is the USDG. At that date, before the closure of the month, about 55% was spent, 248.3 million rand was spent. The second grant, I-Sub-G, or Informal Settlements Upgrading Partnership Grant, 276 million rand is the budget for capital infrastructure. 157.3 at that date was actually spent, which interprets to 57%. The third one, Honorable Chairperson, is the IPTS, where we've got the bus transit system, where we've got 57 million rand budgeted for, and 29.6 million rand was spent at that date. So 52% was spent. The next one grant with 243 is the RBIC that I've just explained. 243 million rand, 35.4 million rand having been spent, 15%, and understanding the problem that I explained in the application for a surrendering. The other one grant was the municipal disaster that we are continuing in 2025-26, a disaster that occurred in 2024-25. So the remaining portion of that grant being spent in this financial year, 45.4 million rand and 25 million rand. So 55% has been spent. The last conditional grant is a second disaster grant. It's a response and recovery grant. So the recovery part, 88% has been spent. 63.2 million rand was the remaining budget that was brought into this financial year. 55.7 million rand was spent. So 88% of that one has been spent. So, Chairperson, that is the picture. I'm sure my colleagues will add in, especially on the RBIG grant and also electricity efficiency. Thank you.
Which colleague do you want?
I would love to be listened to through my colleague on the RBIG, because it was quite a technical.
What's the name?
His name is Joseph Satsiri.
Okay, could you ask Joseph to Joseph who?
Joseph Satsiri.
Over to you.
Okay, Satsiri, yes.
Good evening, honorable members. Thank you for the opportunity. If I might just explain on the RP grant, probably it's important to mention that it was a BFI funding that was applied to National Treasury, and it was done through Cooperative Development Corporation on our behalf. And there was an understanding that it was going to be then scheduled through Cooperative Development Corporation. However, the National Treasury scheduled it to the Metro through a Schedule 5B, which meant that, the Metro needed to implement it directly. And this actually contravened the agreement with CDC. And we then tried to change it to Schedule 6B. However, we couldn't get that in time. And while that was happening, we then actually lost the environmental impact assessment as well as the WULA license. And it meant that we actually had to start the applications upfront, and that delayed the project by another year. Hence, there was underperformance because there was no construction that was happening within that period of time. As the CFO has mentioned, we then did then apply for a surrender on the advice of National Treasury, and we still hasn't got any response. However, they had actually then go ahead and reduced the grant by 110. Thank you, Chair, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Treasury.
Good evening, Honorable Chairperson.
Yes, please comment.
Chair, I've noted the discussion, Chair, on the issue of grants. I must be honest on this one. I'm not the official chair that's responsible for this area of work in National Treasury, so it will not be appropriate for me to answer or to comment on this. However, I can revert with a report if asked, if needed, to help the committee with the Treasury response in this regard. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Let's get the members back on the issue. Do you want to get the MMC first? All right. MMC Mafan.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think the members and now we are clear that whilst these grants are pointed to me, but are not used by the Department of Human Settlement. Once grants are received through human settlement, and then that dispersed through various departments of the metro. That's why you have your INE benefiting on these grants, various MMCs, even electricity and energy, they are using
Okay,
this.
can I interrupt you a bit? Firstly,
Yes.
we didn't decide you must answer. It's your mayor who asked you to answer. So don't bring it back to us that now we can see, because you were actually asked by the mayor to respond. But our issue is, would you say you can justify, let's talk about your section. Would you say you can justify that so much money went back? That's the part that we're interested in. And do you think anybody needs to be made accountable for the reversal of the money? That's the part. We'll ask each one to comment on that from the other MMCs who have got similar problems.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm satisfied with the performance of the directorate in terms of spending of grants. I must be honest with you, because where we're not spending, it's issues beyond our control. The ease of EIA was the ease that if we can give you that letter we receive from today, we receive once all the contractors were on site, they have to stop. You see, that's why now when we appeal to the premier was money were able to intervene. And that thing affected our performance. The issue of the warmer, even there, the warmer were busy implementing the project, and then the communities decided to take us to court. We are still in court. That's why even there we had some challenges in terms of spending. I must say that when it comes to the grants which are utilized by Human Settlement Direct, I'm satisfied with it. I can justify why we're not spending. That's why even the minister, when he was in the Eastern Cape, he was just smiling, because the challenges we are having there, we share with their office. Thank you.
In other words, your future budget needs to be cut down by 125 million. You must receive less because you are satisfied at that expenditure level. That's what when we get to Parliament, we need to be able to say to Human Settlement Minister, the MMC is satisfied with 125 being taken away. So in your next budget, don't put 125, so you don't need to take it back. So you're satisfied with the level of expenditure.
We've attended to the problems, Chairperson.
Just say that again.
It must increase because we have attended to the challenges. The projects are running now, which were stopped because of EIA. And we unlocked those projects just because of our own initiative, where we have to write to the premier to intervene. So instead of reducing the grants, we must increase the grants and upload our initiative, because we didn't fold our arms when we were being challenged. But the contractor to move, to stop what they were on site. They stopped there for almost 4 months, and up until we intervened. So, Chair, I won't agree that we must be reduced in terms of allocation. No, we want more allocation.
No, you are satisfied with less than 125 million. So that's what we're talking about. Members, let's any comments here? Yes.
Chair, sorry, I was just going to speak to the CFO. You know, in government, in the way we used to work, we used to start our budget process around November, December, January, February. So depending where in government you are, the one finishes end of March, the other one finishes end of June, you know, and the budget needs to be approved. So in that budget that gets approved, there's projects, especially when you're talking human settlements. There is projects, and those projects, if that budget is approved for that project, the business plan can't be approved halfway through the year. You know what I'm saying? So I find the excuse not excusable. Sorry, CFO, because unfortunately we also did some budgeting sometime in our life, and we know how government operates. So these budgets don't just get given to you. You ask for them. You submit them. You must submit full plan, everything as to why you want this money. Now, when you get this money, you're supposed to be spending it, but that's what's not happening. Even if it's grant funding, even for grants, you ask, because if you can't get it here, you apply to MEEC, and you know what I'm saying, and you try and get it there. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Chair.
Van Wyk, thank you.
Yes, Chairperson. Province, you have not answered me, Chair. I've asked them what oversight are they playing to keep the Metro accountable, Chair, regarding
get
this
back to them.
underspending.
We'll get back to the province. Sompa?
Thanks, Chair. I wanted to go back to the MMC, just to ask the MMC, how many houses did this municipality build in the past financial year? I'm asking this because I'm worried when he says they want more money. Because if you want more money, there must be more that you have produced. So if I can just be clarified, because I'm still worried about the statement that the mayor made in the morning to say there are some floods that are happening in that area. So it means our people who are suffering, especially who are staying in the shacks, in the settlements, who have been waiting for a very long time to get the RDP house. Now, when the floods are happening, as we speak, what is happening with their lives? The smaller things that they are having, it means they are going to just finish with those floods. So, Chair, I don't know with this COPTA committee, I don't know if possible. I think there must be some law or something that will make the municipalities, especially when the ministers are coming, Minister of Human Settlement, Minister of Electricity, Minister of this key minister, the president, when they go to the area, they must first start with the area where there are problems. But municipalities have this tendency of when the ministers or the president is coming, they will take him to where it's nice, there is no problems. I think as this COPTA, we must deepen this issue. When they go to do the oversight, they must go and start where the people are struggling. If the Minister of Water go to the area where there is no, he must start there. They must not take her to the area where the reservoir is about to finish now. Then he will praise and stay in the media that no, the people of Flagstop are getting water, for example, or the people of Quebec, they are going to get water soon. But there are areas that the municipality have hidden where there are serious issues and for many years without getting help. I think we must consider that as COPTA. Thanks.
COPTA?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just to indicate that as a province, we noted as COPTA the return back of the grant funds throughout the municipalities in the province. There were huge monies that were returned back. So when the current MEC came into power, we then as a department developed a strategy, a risk-adjusted strategy, where we train the municipalities in respect of plague, because the causal factor for the return of the funds was poor planning in many of the municipalities. The other issue was the issue of perhaps some councils chopping and changing projects that have been there, that have been approved during the financial year, and now there would be delays in terms of spending. So the MEC, we developed that strategy, workshop most of the municipalities. The main contributors towards the return of funds were the two metros, Nelson Mandela and BCM. And then Nelson Mandela came late in terms of it being workshopped or taken along in respect of the RAS or the risk adjusted strategy. So what happened is that MEC specifically, when there was a Section 154 support that was delegated, they conducted a workshop to the council. And further to that, there was a committee that was established, which was chaired later on by Advocate Ngoko when he was seconded by the department as a COO. So that committee made strides in terms of the spending. We started to see a different picture, not a good picture, Chair, but there was a change but now the setback is that when he was appointed as an acting city manager, then the sittings of that committee, which was more of a war room that would monitor the performance of the grants, there was some kind of sluggish sittings, and the momentum that was there earlier on has not been, or the sittings were not continuing. So as a department, we were fully aware of this, hence the strategy, and hence you see that of course it's not a good picture, but the pace at which now the grants are returning back to national fiscals from the metro changed a little bit, especially with the grants on your disaster relief and your disaster recovery plan. We even had a plan on how we're gonna pace up or escalate, speed up the expenditure of the grant. So we've done that, Chair.
So you like the MMC, you happy with the way they spend?
We're not at all.
The MMC is?
Pardon?
The MMC is happy.
We're not happy, Tina.
Mayor?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I thought I'm off the hook. Chair.
It's your municipality that has lost almost 600 million. What is the figure? Think about that. That's your municipality that couldn't spend that money. And it's your MMC that is happy with what happened, the loss of 125.
Chair, thank you very much. I think the reason I brought an item and council agreed to get support from Section 154 was mainly because of this panic. That I could see there was no culture change. There was also a lack of capacity in terms of the human resource to administer some of the project plans, and consistent non-performance on the same units. So when we brought the item to the council, and council agreed that COCTA team must come and address these issues, because if you are looking at and analyzing our non-performance, it's based on poor planning, on project management. It's based also on supply chain processes, and it's also based on poor monitoring and adherence administratively to the timelines that have been identified. So, Chair, I must say we've done the diagnostic report for the entire institution. There are recommendations. We are following those recommendations. We've adopted the risk-adjusted strategy, as UTDG has mentioned. We are, maybe the MMC is satisfied because what we have set for ourselves for this financial year is what we have been able to deliver on. It's just that there were matters beyond our control in the area of human settlement around the 4 projects. 4 projects being the one of Boyson's Park, the one of Motherwell, the one of Kayamnandi. So, which were affected by EIA, and the one of Woma. The one of Woma is not affected by EIA, but there are invasions on the area that we must build infrastructure on, bulk service on, and then build top structures therein. So the percentage that's not spent from human settlement matters, and we've taken the matter to court of Woma, and it's still in and out of go back and forth that we have not managed to resolve. But this issue of the EIA, the projects have resumed, which we are anticipating that performance might improve, because we have managed to adhere to all the timelines that the EIA process was needing in terms of the data. And on other non-performing projects, they are around sanitation and water and water sanitation. And they are around some of them on the tendering processes. The frustrations are around that, where award is not done and there's no contractor in place. And this, there are objections, and it takes longer, and so on and so on. So hence we said, let's get support so that we identify exactly what is it that we are not able to nip in the bud, on in terms of why we must get the same results, do same thing and same results, instead of us looking at other avenues. And what I alluded to earlier on in terms of fixing our supply chain processes, which we requested a day where every department will deal with its specifications, was part of the solutions we are seeing, that without forcing the departments to sit and do specifications and start tendering processes, they are not going to do it on their own. They will relax and take things as the order of the day. So, Chair, by and large, this is the account. In terms of the top structures, Honorable Member, what we are given on top structures, we spend it equally. But the grant has a component of water, it has a component of sanitation, it has a component of roads. So in terms of building the houses, it's been 2 years where we get the money, we spend it for top structures. Thank you, Chair.
And where the other emissions, whose money, whose grants were withdrawn?
There's MMC Mafaya from
Mafaya.
Councillor Mafaya.
Yes.
Okay, Councillor Mafaya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Good evening, members of the committee, Executive Mayor and the team, and my colleagues, a very good evening. Chairperson, has already been alluded in terms of the grant. The infrastructure and engineering has also been affected in the RBIG grant.
Can we just get Mafaya to wave the hand? Everyone is talking there, so I can't tell who's who. Mafaya, can
What is this color?
okay, that's fine. Please proceed. See, when
Thank you
trying
very
to
much.
just identify who it is. So proceed. We've seen you now. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. As I've said, some of my grants have been alluded to, the RBIG grant, which led to us to surrender because there were hiccups in terms of the EIA delays, and we had to surrender because we wanted to get it in the outer years. And also, Chair, maybe some of the other things that we are responsible for in the infrastructure and engineering, they are in the agenda, but maybe if I can just touch into the eradication of the bucket system. I'm not sure whether, Chair, can I talk to that?
Okay. Are you done with
Yes, Chair. Some of the other things, Chair, that makes us not spend in good time, the issue of the delay of the business plans that are needed to be approved by the national office. They delay us at times, and the issue of the systems that we have in terms of the supply chain management, Chair, it's a gap that we have acknowledged. Hence, we have requested the MEC of COCTA to give us a secondment to assist us in dealing with the matter, and also adopted the risk-adjusted strategy, as the member of COCTA has alluded. It is one of the other things that we are going to do in making sure that we do not find ourselves in not spending the grants, Chairperson.
Just hold on. Is that the only other MMC? You want another MMC?
I'm the only, this is me and Mafana, and the safety and security only, Chairperson, that are in the chamber.
The one of roads, Chair, is off sick with the MMC roads. The one of electricity should be logged in.
Oh, what's in it?
MMC Mkokoi.
Looks like he's not in. I think let's close the issue. I'm going to allow you to come back to the issue of the bucket eradication program.
Thank you, Chair.
Let's come back. From the point of view of the committee, we're completely dissatisfied with the issue of funds that are withheld. And from our reading of the explanations you give and the issues that are being raised, the bulk of the issues are within your ability to have resolved. Issues of planning, issues of monitoring, and even the issue of late approval. Late approval arises from late submission. And therefore, all of those issues are issues for us which we believe are completely preventable, and you should be able to solve those issues. Now, it will not be a frequent occurrence that you have got something that is completely outside your hands. Let's take, for example, the issue of land invasion. Now, I'm not sure if there's a municipality that's got land earmarked for human settlement that they only discover when people have settled and they had no instrument to prevent such settlement. So if we're not proactive and we only wake up when people have been in the area for a period that takes you to court to remove them, then obviously we have to actually say you are the one who have to take responsibility for that. So I don't quite think it sounds well if your MMC says it's satisfied with the expenditure, because all of us sitting here are shocked that a huge amount of infrastructure funding can be withdrawn and then withheld, and then the municipality feels, well, it's okay, we are fine with that. Now, if we have to deal with the issues of service delivery on our people, we need to then say the municipality needs to pull up its socks, solve the issues, ahead of time, prevent informal settlements that are unauthorized and unplanned, and do proper planning ahead of time, and make sure that when there is funds, when there are funds that are made available, that they are spent as allocated. So from where we sit, we don't believe that there's any explanation that can actually justify the withholding of funds from the point of view of the unsatisfactory performance that has been reported by Treasury. And from that point of view, we want to indicate that the approach needs to be stopped. We need to see a turnaround on the way the expenditure pattern is going. Otherwise, there is no point in us every time getting reports of poor sanitation, sewage spillages, poor water, supply, unfavorable human settlement conditions. But there's money to resolve those, but we're not doing it, and we think things are fine. That for us is a major source of concern. So, and therefore, as a committee, we actually believe that something has to be done more drastically by the municipality to resolve this issue, so that there's zero withholding of money, there's zero returning of money. The issue of having to surrender, those are under very exceptional situations. But if it was already known by the start of the financial year that you wouldn't have spent all the money, then of course there's no need for the money to have been allocated to the municipality. And we cannot then say there's a community where there are resources available, but due to the performance of its own municipality, they actually don't have the services for which money has already been available. There is not enough money to deal with all the backlogs and the requirements of communities. But for the money that is available, we should be able to resolve those, because even then we still have a lot of backlogs. But now, if we are not able to even resolve where there are resources available, we then can't even have a hope of ever resolving the backlogs. And so the dissatisfaction of our people then becomes justified. And so from where we sit, that's how we look at it. Can I then request that we move to the next item? You are going to deal with the issue of the bucket system. Let me, if may, I want to introduce it, but if not, let's allow the MMC to proceed.
Yes, Chair, let's allow the MMC.
MMC Mafaya.
Thank you very much, Chair, again. Chair, in 2010, the municipality had a mandate of eradicating.
You
an
have 7
official-
minutes.
Yes,
minutes to introduce.
I will be brief, Chair. An official count of 23,479 buckets within the municipality, and has since strategically eradicated over 16,000 buckets. And as such, Chairperson, I can confirm we still have 6,000 bucket system in the municipality. The reason for that, Chair, we have a growing number of additional informal settlement. And in that, it's approximately 187 informal settlement. And as such, Chair, we have implemented a strategy which is short-term, medium-term, and long-term, wherein in a short-term, we have a provision of communal ablution facilities, and also provision of communal single low flush toilets, and medium-term flush toilets, occupied service sites, and the long-term, the low-cost housing program by Human Settlement Directorate. Chair, the other reason why we have not yet attended to the 6,000 plus bucket system, we have the informal settlement where communities are resistant and do not want to be relocated to other sites, citing that if they are taken from the sites where they are in now, we wouldn't build houses for them, and that hinders us to do the services, which is building some toilets for them. And the other cases, there are those illegally occupying the land. Some land are private land, and as the municipality, we don't have a policy wherein we can build toilets, and that is also putting us at the back foot. But what we have since discovered is that as politicians, we need to be upfront. And as such, we have a program of going to the communities and try to convince the communities as politicians, other than sending the officials to them, so that we can deal with this matter once and for all. Chairperson, I might just give my official to further, if the chair allows me to do that, and finish up the issue of a bucket eradication system, Chair, if you
So
allow
what are
me.
you saying? What are you
I
saying?
would give to the official, the acting director.
Acting director?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr.
Let's get the
Satsiri.
acting director.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Just to confirm the numbers, I think there's been a reduction of buckets
No,
from 2000.
start by confirming where you are and who you are.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my name is
Wave
Joseph.
your hand. Wave your hand.
Can you see me, Chair?
That's fine.
No.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Joseph Tsatsire Zesenem. I'm the acting director for acting executive director for infrastructure and engineering. The Metro has got a bucket eradication program. I think, as the MMC has said consistently, since 2005, we've been eradicating buckets to around, in 2018, it was 6,000, and we have further reduced the buckets in 2025 to 4,670. I think the MMC has mentioned the challenges. We have got a strategy in terms of the typologies of sanitation which we're going to use, communal ablution blocks, as well as single low flush toilets, as well as other alternative, sanitation typologies like chemical toilets in the short term. We have actually put a target wherein we're going to be funding, the program through Informal Settlements Partnership Grant. And from year 26-27 financially, we've targeted to reduce 1,000 buckets. In 26-27, 1,800. And in the third year, 26-27, we're going to 2,870. We have provided a number of areas as well where most of the buckets are, and most of them are in the location in Woma. We have actually do a count in terms of those buckets and also proposed interim solutions around it, which will be workshopped through the communities. That's conclude the presentation. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Okay, members, do you want to raise any issue? We need progress report with time. Yes, please come in. Please switch on the mic. Switch on the mic.
I want to check. Who's the executive director of human settlements?
Mayor?
The director there's no director currently.
No executive director.
No executive director.
Mayor, you said earlier on there's a land invasion case in Woma. Have you got a case number?
The MMC can provide, Chair.
Is it? Okay. Please provide us with that case number, Mayor. Because I got some people that wants to know what that case number is, so they can work on that. Chair, then coming back to the bucket eradication system. I believe that, Chair, this promise of the bucket eradication system comes from more than 30 years now. And really, guys, you don't have much left. So please don't let them take the grant away that you're going to get for the bucket eradication system. I'm asking with tears in my eyes, Mayor. Please. Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, Chair. Thank you very much. We, as the MMC and the ED has mentioned, we have a dedicated program to deal with eradication, and we will be doing so, Chair. Thank you. It's part of our priority.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. Can the municipality maybe provide us? I understand the issue of the settlements because it's a problem across the country. Zabai Bay. Now, I want to, if they can maybe give us a report in terms of those toilets where in the areas where there is no settlements. I think there are some areas in Rebecca, around surrounding areas, locations that are still using a bucket system. If we can get maybe the number of the households, and then also the reason why those households they were not catered for to eradicate their bucket system. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. Can I allow Councillor Buyano Mafaya?
Proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair. The houses that now have the bucket system, it's around 4,000 plus, Chair. And the reason for that, Chairperson, I think I've said it. Some of the houses, the members, which is the people who are occupying those houses, do not want to vacate, as we have already requested that they get relocated in the interim for us to service their sites to have toilets. Hence, I've said, we have taken upon ourselves as politicians to talk to communities and convince them that if they get relocated, we will bring them back to where they want to be, but we need to service the sites because remember, they occupy the land illegally. And because the Constitution does not allow us to not render the basic services to any individual, we are forced for the interim to give them bucket system and then address the matter after. And in other instances, they have occupied private land. And in that private land, we are not permitted to build toilets because it's not owned by the municipality. Hence, the human settlement has also sought to seek some vacant land for those people so that they get relocated and be built toilets. Thank you, Chair.
Chair,
Remember?
maybe the MMC did not understand. My question was, I said, I understand that their frustration in terms of, because it's not in Nelson Mandela only. I'm saying, is there any community members or locations that are still using bucket system that qualifies to be having decent toilets? That was my question. If they have, how many, and what is the reason for those people for not getting those toilets?
You're saying outside the unplanned informal settlement. Okay, that's a question, MMC.
All right, Chair, if I may, the human settlement have just confirmed that indeed there are those individuals that qualify to have houses that are still in informal settlement having buckets. I'm not sure whether I've responded accurately.
No, the question was how many. So what do they confirm? How many do they confirm? And is there a plan to deal with that?
Through you, Chair. MMC Mafaya Buzuba is in that are using a packet system as suppose was seven formal ablution zingapi.
All right, Executive Mayor, you would note that not everyone who uses bucket system is eligible to be built a house right now. As you would know that every individual would apply for a subsidy.
MMC, MMC.
Yes.
Don't do that. We're not in your council debate. We're just asking you a simple question. How many, you know the answer or you don't know, and we move on. Don't debate. You're debating with your mayor. When you go back to Kabaka, you'll do that. How
All
many?
right, Chair. Okay, Chair. The houses that we have bucket system are 4,670 currently, Chair.
Those are the informal ones.
Informal, yes, Chair. All
Asking
informal.
informal. or
There's
not
no
informal.
formal house that have a bucket system. No formal
So
house
there
has
are
a bucket
no
system.
there are no individuals who should have normal ablution, normal sanitation that are still using bucket system other than those which are in formal settlements that are about 4,000. There is
Yes.
no other.
Yes, Chair.
Honorable Sompa?
Hey, if a member say the entire Quebec surround their location, there is no one who qualifies except those one in the settlement. If he says so, it's in record, it's okay. Thanks, Chair.
That is the answer. It's fine, thank you. Can we close the issue then? From where we sit, we need a kind of progress report on this. Bucket system is not the best of our systems. It needs to be eradicated. So I want to be able to see your date by which you would have eliminated them. But 4,000, by which time we think we could have eliminated them. So we need your progress report on a continuous basis.
Yes, Chair.
Yes. So that's what we will require. I want us to move to the next issue. Unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. Somebody going to talk to us about that?
Chair, the suitable person would be the impact chairperson, the CFO.
Do you have impact chairperson? Who is the impact chairperson?
Namet, Councillor Namet.
Councillor?
Good evening,
Ramete.
Chair.
Yes, Councillor Ramete. Namete, sorry.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. We understand that our UIFWE is ballooning in Nelson Mandela. And I want to say that we are pleased by the intervention of National Treasury, who then sent Section 154 support to assist us in to reduce this UIFW. We are working very close with the Office of the COO. We have managed to be assisted by the Section 154 and the Office of the COO to draft a reduction strategy in terms of how are we going to rescue the city in this ballooning UIFW. Through you, Chairperson, I would appreciate if you allow Mr. Mulman to do a presentation on the strategy. Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Mulman, do you want to come in?
Chair, thank you very much. Thank you, MMC. Impact Chair. Chairperson, with respect to the UIFWE ballooning bill of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, we have already undertaken a process of a data cleansing of our UIFWE register, where we have also identified that at a high level, there's a number of issues that should not be on the register that were found on the register. We have found a number of anomalies that tell us that indeed a number of these areas that result into the ballooning bill has been as a result of poor consequence management, poor implementation of financial controls. On top of that, with the intervention of National Treasury, where we have been put on a process of Section 216, subsection 2, with a terms to take the equitable share of the city. We have then went through a process that has been prescribed by Treasury, and I'm happy to say that the Nelson Mandela Bay had passed a number of items which relate to one, the UIF prevention and reduction strategy, two, the UIFWE reviewed policy, an action plan to process historic UIFW. We've got also a digitized system that we have now introduced that is going to help process UIF related entries. We've also got terms of references for the disciplinary board together with the MPEC that have been revised. We've also got a process that we have started on the consequence management. These are about a few of the interventions that we have put in order and have passed through council on the 30th of April, which are going to tell us a different story, which we are measuring on a month-to-month basis, but we are reporting on a quarterly basis in respect of the strategies and controls that we've put in place. Chair, I must also indicate that while we know that the history is that it's a historic bill, but even with that, you have already captured it to say there are certain things that at the city level we should be able to do. And I think this is one other element where we say effectively with the correct application of consequence management, amongst other things, we should be able to reduce this bill significantly. At face value, we do also indicate that we see an amount of about 540 million that should not be on the register where consequence management or recovery has already been implemented. With all this being said, Chairperson, I want to believe that, yes, the picture is not a very good picture, but our strategic plan and our reality in terms of projection tells us when individual is involved in irregular or unauthorized expenditure, the city should be able to hold that person accountable. Because at some point we did not have some of these policies where, for instance, we didn't have a reduction strategy. We didn't have a consequence management policy. These are policies that exist, and in respect of everything else that I've already alluded to in terms of digitizing so as to limit errors that result in incorrect application of entries. These are some of the things that we think we're going to be able to address as council has already pronounced on them. So there is already a committee that has been established at a technical level that is dealing with the monitoring, the data cleansing, effectively recommending resolutions on how to prevent or how to engage on consequence management to recover or to hold accountable those who are mischievous. Lastly, Chairperson, we've also procured the services of a resource, an external resource, to help ensure that the work that we're doing does not only reflect what we see as a city, but equally that an external resource that is able to also show us that we're on the right track and help us fast track the processes in terms of being able to turn the tide on the ballooning UIFWE. We're quite comfortable that things will change, and at that point, Chair, I think I must rest and hand over to the CFO, as you've already alluded, if there is any matter to raise. Thank you, Chair.
You want the CFO to say something? CFO, they want you to say something.
Chairperson, I am fine. Thank you so much. I've trained him very well. Thank you, Chairman.
We know that you've got all those committees you have trained. We've seen you've got your policy on your disciplinary board. But what we do want is a report with specifics now in terms of the numbers. How much was irregular? How much was unauthorized? What actions were taken? Now, we don't have that. Or am I the one who missed the report? Yes, Honorable Mwale?
Yeah, Chairperson, I want to check a few things here. Firstly, were there any writes-off on UIFWE. For the write-off with the investigations, I can see we have a chairperson of MPEC with any investigations. From investigations, were there any consequence management to officials or those who were found to be responsible for the UIFWE in the municipality? And also, I'm not sure, but the accounting officer is per MFMA chair has a duty to prevent UIFW. He has a duty to prevent UIFWE from occurring. Besides that, there's MPEC that is going to investigate when it has occurred. The requirement of the Act stipulates that they have a duty to prevent it from happening. But we don't have the city manager in this municipality. Yeah, so that's why we are faced with these issues. We don't even have directors in this municipality. So everything is falling apart. I'm not sure if we are in a Hollywood, everyone is acting here. So I'm not sure what's happening, Chair. So it's a bit difficult then to get to consequence management in this regard, because everyone is acting. Everyone was not there when it occurred. You know, people are resigning. Yeah, so Chair, I want to check those things. Did you write off any amounts on UIFWE? Unauthorized irregular expenditure, did you write off any amounts? If you did write off, did you certify yourself through investigation that you won't be able to recover, or any recoveries, if there was any amount that is recovered as a result of the investigations conducted by MPEC? Is the capacity at MPEC, in your MPEC team, is the capacity? Do they know what they're doing? Because we have a situation where municipalities will set up these committees, but they're really not functional because the MPEC chairperson, including his team, they don't know what they're doing there. So is the capacity? Can you give us confidence that there's capacity in your MPEC team? Thank you.
We don't have a report on UIFWs, do we? Am I the one who missed it? Speaker, what are you saying?
Chair was of the view that there was a report submitted on UIFWE to Shireen. Yeah. You're right, there's no fear.
What's in the report?
I think that the last time it was the ballooning of the UIFW expenses, and as well as.
Do you have a report with you in your screen there? In your own, don't worry about us. Do you have a report there?
Not on my, but I can get there is a report that we can.
No, you should have a report. If you're coming to talk about it here, you should be having it somewhere. No, you just intervened, so I want to know what you've got. I know there's impact. I was still gonna go there, but you raise your hand and you're the one who's talking.
Sorry, Chair, I know we drafted a report as after the meeting with National Treasury with impact, and impact meeting said to
what was contained in the report?
The terms of reference.
No, wait. You got lots of documents here. They are not the impact report. I've got a list. Let me just read for you. Okay, you got update council approved prevention reduction strategy. You got update council approved UIFW policy. You got action plan with monthly plans. You got copy reviewed amended impact delegations. You got copy document. These are enabling documents. They're not the report. The report is how much was irregular, how much was unauthorized, and what did you do to correct that, and what consequences, who has been charged, who's been investigated, How many have been? That's what we're asking about. So do you have such a report? We don't. So between me and you agree, you didn't submit no, that's the main report. The others are your documents. You were just telling us you have it. You see, these strategies are enabling the MPEC to operate. They're enabling the municipality. They're not the report. The report is when you say we had a UIFW of 3 billion, then break it down. So much of it was irregular, so much of it was, and this is the investigation done. This is the referral that has happened. This is how many people went for a disciplinary hearing. This is how many people have been charged. This is how many matters are in court. That's the report we're looking for. So you are agreeing we don't have that report. But did you ever have such a report in your council?
We had reports in council where amounts have been written off. There were impact reports. Every time when there's an impact meeting, there's a report that goes to council.
Chairperson.
And for write-offs.
Yes, let's start with Van Wyk and then come to Mwale.
Okay, Chairperson. Thank you very much. Chairperson, I was just informed now here that from the Metro that there was a UIFW write-off of 30 million, but the impact has not brought it to council. And I'm also requested here to ask, why did impact not bring it to council as yet? And if the chairperson of impact is in this meeting, chairperson, so they can just explain themselves. And it's also been said here that the CFO also knows about it. I don't know. It's just the information that I got now, Chair. Thank you.
Chair.
Yeah.
No, Chair, let's bring back the chairperson of impact.
Now I was going to get there, so I wanted to table your issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to him.
No, let's bring back the chairperson of the impact because we really need to know the investigations that he has conducted before writes off, because MFMA is clear that before any writes off are approved by council, you need to have investigated and have certified yourself that they won't be able to recover the amounts, and then you can recommend to council you recommend to council to write off. Then council writes off the amounts. But before that, those who are charged with the responsibility, then you must take action. That is the responsibility of the accounting office. In this case, we don't have. But the accounting officer is supposed to be, even if it means criminally charging anyone who is responsible for your UIFWE, the accounting officer has that duty to charge. So now, like in this case, I'm not sure who's then responsible for this UIFWE. So I want us to get some clarity from the chairperson of MPI. And also, do we have a disciplinary body do we have a fully functional disciplinary body? Has it ever dealt with a case that was coming from MPEG to them, referred by MPEG for any issue that was investigated by MPEG? Thank you.
MPEG Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Indeed, Chairperson, there were items that the MPEG recommended to council for write-off. I just don't know why the CFO is quiet there, because some of the items were emanating from his department, so he should be able to have the correct figures. Number two, there are items that we have deferred or we have taken a resolution that they must go straight to DB for consequence management. Thank you, Chair.
Look, we don't have a report. That's what we asked for. Can anybody explain why we don't have that report?
Chairperson, I wouldn't know why the institution didn't prepare the report. However, I can promise or I can vouch that the report will follow, Chairperson.
Chair, can I quickly intervene? The speaker,
Okay, I
Chair,
wanted to hear from the mayor and the speaker before we get there.
but the speaker, Chair, said there is a report from the chairperson of MPEC as he was intervening. So can that back and forth be clarified quickly before maybe they respond? Because the speaker said, no, the chairperson of MPEC will have the report. Now the chairperson of MPEC is saying he will prepare the report. Now I'm asking myself then, how did you conduct investigations if there are no reports? They will prepare the reports. How did they conduct and conclude on investigations and recommend it to council? Because this is the process they need to follow. If they fail to follow that process, then then disputes from AG comes in to say, MFMA says we must show us how you investigated these matters before you recommend for write-off.
I still want to get the answer. Why is there no report? So there was going to be a response from the two leaders this side. Let's get you to comment first and then we'll come back.
Chairperson?
No, we have the leaders here in front who are going to respond for now and we'll come back.
Chair, in our preparation, we dealt at length with the mitigation plan because
No, not me. No, we're not talking about the mitigation plan. I've read the list of documents that you have sent to us. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the report of what amounts, what action, what investigations, what consequence management, and how did you come to that decision? That's the report I'm talking about.
Oh, well, Chair, the report would have been compiled by the CFO and the MPEC committee, but we did
Sorry,
not.
no. I don't know if it's the language. We want to know what happened. Don't say it would have been, because it sounds like you're also guessing. So if you don't know, you don't know. Was the report prepared? Have you seen a report like that?
For this meeting, Chair, no.
But have you ever seen a report that talks about all these issues? And the unauthorized irregular expenditure, how it was investigated, what consequences? Have you seen any such a report?
There were reports attached from MPEC committee to the last council meeting.
So they were attached to the council meeting.
To the council agenda, Chair, yes.
On what you sent to us, there was no such. You signed the letter. Submitted
yes, Chair.
And by the way, in your letter, you said there was going to be a report given to us in this letter. Just show the letter so we don't sound surprised. Show the letter.
Chairperson.
Let's first sort out one issue. It says the resolution, you signed the letter of all the matters, and matter number 11 was UIFW. That's what you signed. And then it says the resolution of council meeting of 30th April will be provided to the portfolio committee. And it goes on to talk about the copy of the report submitted to the council. Now, all these list of documents are mentioned there. We're not talking about them. We want to know about the investigations, the amounts, the consequence management. That's what we're talking about. So in the letter you sent, there was supposed to be some information given to us. Just lift the thing up a little bit. Push it up now, and all right. Just move it down a bit. All right. Okay. That's what came from you, Mayor. Talk to us about it.
It was just an oversight. It was an oversight. Let's remove just. It was an oversight, which I apologize from our side, because we focused more on the mitigation. in our submission rather than submitting what actually transpired.
King, does it ever get investigated and does it ever get discussed by council? Do we ever have consequence management? That's what we're asking you.
In the last submission, there were proposals that we were putting across as council that there must be investigation. There must be referral to the DP board. There must be investigation, Chair. On top of my head, Chair, I am not sure.
No, that's fine. Let's Speaker.
No, Chair, I want to agree with the mayor that we did not prepare that one with amounts and what has been written off and what consequence management was implemented. And we must apologize for that. But what
let me ask the two of you, Mayor and Speaker, do you think it's normal that you can come and account for the performance of a municipality, but such a report is not prepared and doesn't look abnormal?
It's not normal.
CFO, you wanted to say something?
Sorry. I wanted to talk, to respond and I think try and respond to the specific questions. I think there were questions.
What is the specific question?
Yes, there were questions of what was written off. And I want to be specific and read it directorate by directorate. The investigative reports went to an MPEC meeting of the 19th.
Can you just hold on? Now, you want the specifics. You are saying you have the specifics, CFO, in terms of the figures. Can you explain why that was not submitted to us?
Chair, I think as Mayor was explaining, we concentrated on the strategies that we are implementing to turn around the situation. Hence, there was a reference to documents, a number of documents that were last week on the 30th. So this.
So can we ask you to circulate before you read it?
Can just get again, Secretary. I will.
Sorry.
I can forward this to the Secretary.
I'm asking you to forward it.
Yes.
So don't make it sound like it's optional.
Oh, okay.
I want you to forward. Look, as far as we're concerned, CFO,
yes, sir.
Send the document. You will then go through you are not going to read anything about figures and you don't have anything in front of us.
All right.
Okay. So you are going to do that. And then in the meantime, what's banning the DDG?
Chair, in our prep meeting on Friday and Saturday, there was a report which was MPEC report, which was supposed to have been tabled in a council meeting that was postponed. We were then informed that it will be tabled in a council meeting of the 30th. So we left the office with that report. So I would want to check with the speaker because our agreement was that report was going to be tabled in a council meeting of the 30th in preparation for this so that it can be part of the PEC. Now, I thought it's part of the PEC. So I'm not sure if the reasons why it was not in the council because we spent days on this and the report was there. Thanks, Chair.
For us, it's very abnormal that when we want to discuss unauthorized, irregular, fruitless expenditure, there is no report and people think it's a normal thing. We don't understand that. We just don't. CFO, have you sent the report? And please, the Speaker, we're going to respond to the DDG. But CFO, have you got the report sent? Okay. Let's get the response from the Speaker and then come back to just circulate the report as soon as it comes.
Chair, there was the report that served in the last council meeting that dealt with basically one service provider. It was basic in two items, in another item. It's not items from different directorates. That item was withdrawn in council by the impact chair because of because the recommendation was not properly captured in the report that served before impact. So impact chair then indicated to council that he will be taking it back to impact and impact members that attended council. That item can be refined. But chair, previously, items from impact in terms of write-offs and other did serve before council, and maybe those are the minutes that we should also provide to this portfolio committee chair.
Yes, we're not asking for your minutes, we're asking for the report. There's a distinction. Now, what you're talking about that was withdrawn by the impact chair, is that what the DDG is talking about?
If it was because there was just one item.
You're not sure? You're not sure?
But the DDG and the committee discussed.
No,
The
okay.
only
Just hold on. I just wanted to clear quickly. DDG, what did you, what amounts were in that report that you talk about? Was the speaker is talking about only one item, one issue and one item, and it was something to do with one particular service provider, not everybody? Do you have a mic in front of you?
Apologies, Chair. Chair, let me admit we don't know the content of the report, but
All right,
what
let's hold it at that. Let's hold it at that, because we're going to argue for a long time over something we're not certain about. Now, we're not looking for the one item. We're not looking for a report on a list of documents that you have submitted. We want a report about what unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure that has been cleared through a process of impact, which involves investigations, which involves consequence management, which involves disciplinary board, and involves referral to criminal justice system and the names, the specifics of who was involved. That's what we're looking for. That's a kind of report. Now, I don't know we should be explaining this to municipal administration. I don't believe this is correct. So I want to see the report that the CFO is talking about. Can we share the report? You can start, CFO, talk about it.
Thank you, Chairperson. I was talking to this table that indicates what has gone through to MPEC and what got approved by council for a write-off, as Madam Speaker was indicating and the Mayor. That number one, under budget and treasury, the very first one is budget and treasury on the list. I am looking at a figure of 1.4 billion rand. That went to the MPEC meeting on the 19th of November 2025, having been presented to the MPEC meeting on that date, and having been agreed upon analysis of the report for it to be recommended to council. If we go down, again, I'm looking only on the 2025-26 financial year, Chairperson. If we go down, you will find a report as well that went to MPEC, that was for Human Settlements Directorate, to the value of 243.1 million rand. It went to MPEC on the 19th of November 2025. And going further down, there is a 13.5 million rand from Infrastructure and Engineering, had its own report that went to the MPEC committee on that date of the 19th of November 2025 to the MPEC. So all in all, for that period, for the items that were considered by the MPEC amounted to 1.7 billion rand added together. So that went to council of early December 2025, considered by council, explanation being given, having been assessed by the MPEC for that irregular expenditure to be considered. The second lot, which amounts to 94.7 million rand, also comes from from one directorate. That directorate is Human Settlements. That tabled its report to the MPEC, and it went to council on the 2nd of December 2025 with the reports detailed and the recommendations of the MPEC meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Now,
Chairperson.
sorry, Mayor and Speaker. You see, this report is what, when we requested the discussion, was about. This is what we wanted. It's taken us 45 minutes to get here. What then makes us unable to conclude that you didn't want us to see this? You see our problem with you, the way you're approaching the matters. That's really where the problem is. Because it takes us such a long... Honorable Mwale has asked this question 5 times. And each time we ask the question, then we get referred to the wrong document. And I'm saying that is the problem, because we actually think that's not good management. Now, Honorable Mwale, you want to come in?
Chair,
But just to make one comment. You see, CFO and Mayor and Speaker, I do want you to look at this document. When the Mayor is looking at it, I'll continue. Mayor, I don't think you look very disinterested now. You are then disinterested. We have to answer questions. We didn't want to sit here on our own. We're being delayed by yourselves. Now, look at those issues. You see that issue there, that block that says amount write-off during MPEC meeting. When we're looking for the report, we want the explanation of each and every item, why it was written off. So this summary is an introduction. The detail is what this committee is interested in. Okay. Honorable Mwale.
Chairperson, thank you. Thank you, CFO, for giving us these figures. This is exactly what I was asking. Now, I want to check. Before writing off 1.4 billion for budgets and treasure, was this amount investigated? Was this amount investigated? The total amount is 1.7 billion that was written off in December. So I want to see the investigation from MPEC before recommending these amounts to council to write them off. Can, because the chairperson of MPEC is here, can you give us confidence that we have reports of investigations? Not that he will prepare a report of investigations. There should be a report of investigations of these amounts before they were written off in December. We need that report. That was tabled to council to say, and we want to see also council probing chairperson of MPEC saying, but when this amount was presented for a write-off, what is it that they have exhausted, and who was responsible and who was held liable for this before the decision to write off? Was there no possibility to recover these amounts? If there was, that's what we want to know. We want to see from the report of MPEC, because we must be satisfied from that report of MPEC that we cannot recover those amounts. But we need to charge someone who was responsible, because someone, even if it's unauthorized expenditure, someone was responsible for that. Who is that was responsible? And what was consequence management? Did they go to the DC board or anything that the council took as a decision before writing off 1.7 billion? 1.7 billion that we're talking about here, Chairperson, of wrongdoing. And someone is in charge. We have a city manager that's responsible to prevent this 1.7 billion. 1.7 billion, Chairperson, excluding the amounts that have been retained by or withheld by the National Treasury of grants. No investigations, nothing. No reports. We should be seeing a report for each amount in this committee, taking us through. This is what's happened. So that this won't be condoned. This won't be seen in the next financial year. That's how you deal with it. But this amount keeps on skyrocketing, and the AG keeps on rejecting these amounts for write-off and say you must put them back on your financial statement because you did not investigate. If you just write them off, AG will tell you to put them back in the financial statement. So I want to check, what was the opinion of AG on writing off 1.7 billion on this municipality? Thank you so much.
Impact Chair, was the investigation done?
Chairperson, thank you very much. Indeed, the MPEC committee did investigate these reports in terms of interrogating them. We then send them to council. I want to make it clear, Chairperson, when the reports are going to council, they become speakers' items. Therefore, the MPEC indeed investigated these particular ones that we sent to council, and then we ask the council to write off. MPEC did investigate. MPEC did interrogate each and every particular report. Thank you.
Okay, what we are saying, all right, we'll come. What we are now saying is that if you've got such an investigation done, we want the report that explains each and every amount, the investigation, the consequences, the referral, up to the total of 1.7 billion. That's what we're saying. So we need that kind of report. Honorable Taiposh and then Honorable Mwali. Let's get the mic on, please.
I just want to go back to the impact chairperson who just informed us that they did interrogate, they did investigate. I need to know what, if any, what consequence management was applied. Chair, I think that this is the case for the Madlanga Commission.
Impact Chair, can you respond?
Thank you, Chairperson. You'll remember, Chairperson, when we investigate, we refer the item to council. The council then recommends the matter to go to DP Board for consequence management. At the moment, the DP Board has not given us a report as to how far are they with their consequence management. I thank you, Chair.
The answer is they have no such a report. Okay. Honorable Mwali.
Chairperson, I want the investigating report that is coming from MPEC. This is what we did. These were the outcomes. These are the recommendations. This is who that we found was responsible for this. We want that report for each amount that was written off before the amounts were recommended to council for write-off. That is what we are looking for. We don't want them saying, ngomlomo. We investigated, we interrogated. Where is it on paper? Did the council sit with a report from MPEC before they wrote off they write off these amounts? What were the findings of council when you saw these amounts being investigated by MPEC? What were your findings? What were the findings of MPEC? What did you decide you will do with those who are responsible for this?
Somba.
Chair, this matter, we are debating it for more than 2 hours. And the answer, I think that my honorable was asking my colleague was very simple. Because when you were trying to explain to the leadership of Nelson Mandela what is we expected from when they came before and agreed that they must prepare, they didn't do it. Now, according to the information that the Honorable is having, 1.something billion was erased in December.
Yeah.
Now, the MPEC chair was supposed to say no or yes, we did investigate or we did not. That 1.7, because that is the issue. Then we'll take it from there. That matter, that those things were, that those amounts were just erased, were just taken out to say no, it's fine, come, or Mr. Who you that that 13 million that you owe in the municipality, it's okay. We are erasing it, just like that. It was only a simple question. Then we can go to the next item, because it's clear that you told the DDG said these people did not we discussed, but I don't know the content, but I can tell you now that that was because them, they knew what we are expecting from them, but they didn't do the homework. So it was yes or no. Huh? Need the apollos.
Speaker.
Chair, on the question that the honourable member asked on what have council done, when the report with recommendations come to council from Impact, council debates the item.
No, don't put it like that. We're not talking in generalities. They brought the report, you debated it. Let's be specific, because I don't want it to sound very vague, as though you're just telling us what happens in council. We're not asking that. We want to know about this specific thing, this one that you've shown us. What happened there? Specific on it.
All I can say, Chair, is that the council came to the report came to council with the recommendations. The right of council wrote it off after discussing. That's it.
I think we must close. No. I think we must close. Mayor, we expected this report from the letter that you wrote. We expected that this report was coming, as you had indicated. It did not come. We need to criticize you for that, because there's no way you can make an undertaking that information is going to come and it doesn't come. Secondly, we needed proper information about the investigation of the UIFWE, and we cannot accept that the mayor, the speaker, the CFO, the MPEC chair, were not aware that you are not giving us a report. And we don't understand that. So we again think there's a deliberate issue. There's no way we can explain it. Thirdly, we're then saying we need the report that explains on this 1.7 billion what each amount was that had to be tabled for a write-off. We want the investigations before write-off, and that report from MPEC needs to come to this committee. Then we also want the minutes of how maybe a record of how the municipality discussed the write-off, so that you can see what was the focus of the municipality. Then we want to know who was referred to a disciplinary board, who was referred to the criminal justice system, who had actions taken on them, and how much of this was supposed to have been recovered. So we've got 1.7 that's supposed to be written off. Is it possible that all of this amount could not have been recoverable? So we need that whole report with all of those specifics. Now, next time we can't be going through the same issue as though we all don't understand how the UFWE investigation process goes. You are leaders in this municipality. So don't treat us as though we also don't have a sense and you also don't have a sense of what you're doing, because we don't believe that. We don't. Yes, let's close.
30 seconds, Chair. Chair, I want to check quickly from the CFO. CFO, are you able to tell us from the amounts that you listed, the three, the budget and treasury, is it unauthorized or irregular or wasteful expenditure? The 1.7, the 1.4 billion, the 243 million, and the other amount that is on infrastructure. Like these amounts, what is the nature of these amounts? Is it irregular expenditure, or is it unauthorized expenditure, or is it fruitless? What is the nature?
Yes, Chairperson.
Go through it. Tell
Okay.
us.
All that is here is irregular expenditure.
If this
No, finish off. Where's the rest?
So, no, no. Chairperson, yes, this is irregular expenditure. In the report, Chairperson, that we presented here in March when we were here, we showed all the components. We showed the unauthorized expenditure. The presentation is here. It showed what was the unauthorized. So there is this irregular. There was nothing of fruitless and wasteful.
There was nothing?
There was nothing on component fruitless and wasteful.
Chair.
Yes.
Now, as I close, Chair, was there any financial loss experienced by the municipality as a result of this fruitless and wasteful, as a result of this irregular expenditure?
Chairperson, I can talk with affirmation on budget and treasury side.
That's on the 1.4
On the
billion.
1.4 billion.
So was there? So now, so sorry to interject, Chair. Now, if there's financial loss,
No,
Yes, they
wait. Let the CFO tell us the financial loss, then you come back. CFO?
There was no financial loss, Chairperson, on the 1.4 billion rand, if I understand the question.
and I'm not sure, Chair. I'm not sure if I understand. Was there any financial loss from these three components that makes up the irregular expenditure? Are you saying from budget and treasury, was there financial loss as a result of this irregular expenditure by the municipality?
No, Chairperson. Sorry.
And then the other three?
Treasury.
No, the human settlement and
Or human
infrastructure.
settlements. I don't want to confirm on record with certainty because I know the budget and treasury's transaction 120%.
Okay.
I don't want to commit myself and say there was not, but the reports were prepared by the directorates for the consideration of impact.
So for 1.4, the budget and treasury issue, it was compliance.
Definitely, it was an issue of compliance.
So someone was responsible.
Yes, and that transaction is dating back to 2016-17. It had to do with banking tender, where there were certain documents that were not found during an audit, but were since found. Thank you.
Okay, Mandela.
No, just a quick one, Chair. In terms of MPEC core functions, has MPEC ever discussed the Auditor General's reports? That's one. Number two, has MPEC ever discussed renewed contracts that were being renewed as raised as concerns raised by the AG and also raised by this speaker, like all speaker actually to actually confirm, because those reports are submitted to council. Thank you.
MPEC Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Yes, indeed, we do have the action audit plan, which we passed it in our MPEC, and I can assure you, Chairperson, that if it's needed, we can provide it. Thank you.
The question was, did the MPEC ever discuss any of the contracts that are part of what was discussed as evergreen contracts, for which this committee has requested further investigation? Has the MPEC ever, in your reports, discussed those kinds of contracts?
In my tenure as MPEC Chairperson, none of those reports have come to my committee.
That's straightforward. Aram Dolo, you want to hear?
Yeah, and the speaker as well.
Speaker?
Thank you, Chair, not that I'm aware of. I have not seen any evergreen contract, reports on evergreen contracts in council.
You know, MPEC Chair, something doesn't quite make sense to us, and we'll probably be able to understand as things unfold. We have been attracted to this concept of evergreen contracts by the Auditor General's report. We would have anticipated that these contracts that are being queried would have landed in the MPEC discussion by virtue of the fact that the Auditor General's office has indicated that they've been querying it. They've been querying these contracts. So it's a little inexplicable to us why the Auditor General could have raised queries on contracts, but they don't make it to the MPEC meeting for a discussion. Now, it didn't happen in your tenure. I'm not sure how long your tenure has been, but neither does the Speaker know of such. So there's something that doesn't add up. Maybe somebody can take us out of that. CFO or Speaker or MPEC Chair? Yes.
Just a follow-up on the MPEC Chairperson. Chairperson, if I recall very well, I think I'm the one actually who raised a concern in our last meeting. Even said the MPEC Chairperson was very quiet. So I would like him to speak and actually elaborate on issues that we raised in our last meeting. I recall, Chairperson, that actually the MPEC Chairperson did actually touch on the issues that I've just raised and confirmed that actually MPEC actually was engaged on such issues. So unless maybe if I'm mistaken, Chairperson, but you can go to the records, because in our last meeting, the chairperson of MPEC did attend, was there in our last meeting. And it took time for him to speak. We even actually raised a concern about being quiet in that meeting as the MPEC chairperson. So when he spoke, he did touch on issues that I've just raised. I'm surprised that today the MPEC chairperson says they've never discussed these issues as MPEC.
MPEC Chair, do you want to comment?
Yes, Chairperson. Chairperson, on the previous visit to Parliament, I raised the frustration of not receiving reports to MPEC committee. What we did after we came from there, we wrote to the office of the Speaker, complaining that the reports are not coming to MPEC. We went further, wrote to the office of the city manager, complaining also about the way the EDs and are not bringing reports to the MPEC. We were busy, okanye we are busy, Chairperson, to formulate a item that will go to council, reporting to council that the way the reports are not coming to MPEC are frustrating us. I still maintain that, Chairperson, we have a problem of the reports not coming to MPEC. Thank you.
Chairperson, may I withdraw and apologize? I think it's correct, is what you said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Yes. Honorable Mtolo says he agrees with you, so what you're saying now and what you said is aligned, is recalled properly, so that matter then is closed. Honorable Sompa.
Thanks, Chair. My question is going to be on the Speaker and the Mayor. Because, Chair, this matter of 1.7 billion that is being erased in December. You know, xa kuthiwa umntu uphumlela isikweliti, yeah, it's a big thing. Now, I want to check with them because they know about this. Whether if this committee, I don't know, or other departments who are relevant to investigate further, I'm including also the MPHA, to investigate further about what happened, how come that this 1.7 billion was erased. Are there any kickbacks, maybe, and some agreements on the side to say, let's erase this, I will give you this? Because this matter, if they are not honest about it, it means we must take it to the relevant authorities. Yes. Because it can be correct that the people of Kabeja, 1.7 billion, that money could have done lot of changes in their lives, in that community. If those people could have been honest and paid, unless there were some exchanges under the table about this, because it can be a lot of billions like this. Then there is no any discussion. It was not tabled in council. There is nothing. It can be, Speaker, can be. So if you are saying in record that we must go deeper about this, then it's okay. Thanks.
No, honorable members, I want us to close the matter. No, I'm not requesting any response. Yes, Honorable Van Beek.
Chairperson, for the fact that you want to close, I only have one question. For the sake of transparency, I just want to know, will the list of all the officials of MPEC be made public so the public can know who has written off this 1.7 billion? From the chairperson of MPEC, all of them, they must be made public, Chair. The public must know, for the sake of transparency and accountability. And don't laugh, CFO. It's a serious matter. Thank you, Chair.
No, I want us to close. I will not ask for responses. Let me come back. Let's do a proper sum up of the matter. From where we sit as a committee, we would like to get more details about each and every one of these amounts, the service providers involved, and the basis for it being declared irregular, and the basis on which it was written off, and the implications of those who were involved. Consequence management, in the terms of referral to the disciplinary board, in terms of referral to the criminal justice system, we need that report. Now that this, we're talking about an amount that was already done in December, and the reports have gone through to council and this decision has been done, we think that it should be possible to get that report in a matter of 10 days. So we should get that report to the committee. I would like the members to hold on further comments on the matter until we have gone through the report, in which case then we can actually invite the whole team to come back and address us on those matters. Let me also then say, Honorable Van Wyk, the entirety of council was involved. So it's not just MPEC. MPEC came and brought the item. The people who agreed and resolved and resolved the whole council. So let's have the report first, then we can deal with the issues after that. What is it that we're finding as such? The thing that is strange for us is that we've got this this notion of evergreen contracts that don't seem to be a factor in these issues on the one side. And it's a bit difficult for us to understand that. But because we've already made a ruling that those matters will be sent for investigation, both by the Treasury and COPTA at national level, and we'll get a report in a matter of a month, then I think we should combine those two. Have a look at them together and then consider our next step of action at that level. This then also caters for, in the agenda, we've got an aspect that talks about consequence management. So far as that part refers to UIFWE, that issue will be covered there. I therefore want us to close the matter at that point. And I'm going to request that to close these issues, I'm going to ask Mayor, somebody must talk to us about acting senior managers. How many, and for, do you have a sense how long? We should have had a report, but just someone who can take us through that. I'll allow for 2 minutes and then we must close on that one.
Mrs. Takusa can take you through, Chair. Thank you.
Mrs. Takusa, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. There are various acting EDs within the institution due to the contracts that have come to an end, due to the restructuring process that is taking place. There are about 7 acting EDs that are acting. The item was tabled in the council meeting of December 2024 for an ED, Safety and Security, ED, SRAC, ED, EDTA, ED, INE, ED, ENE, and also ED, Public Health. The council resolution was meant for a council to ratify the decisions that were taken by EDs during the previous period that they were acting, and further to request the MEC in respect of the additional 3 months subsequent to the lapse of that. But it also had a rider that says whichever come first in respect of the appointment of Section 56 managers. Subsequently to that process, there was a lapse of time to that decision of council until October 2025, wherein the acting city manager submitted the same item to council for consideration. It is unfortunate, Honorable Chairperson, that since October 2025, November, December, January, February, and March, the item has not been considered by council, it's either withdrawn or deferred back. And the last item was submitted in council on the 30th of April with the additional acting ED for corporate services, but the council withdraw the item for its consideration. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Can we just break it down and make it simpler for people like us who don't understand what happens in your council? What's the total number of executive directors in your establishment, and how many are vacant and therefore people acting on them?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. You will say we have a peculiar situation. Initially, the number of
Mrs. Takusa, don't explain it like that. I asked for numbers. So give me two numbers. What's the total and what's how many are vacant? Two numbers, no explanation.
Thank you. The numbers of this, in terms of the operational structure that was adopted by Council in 2016 are 11. Honorable Chairperson.
I asked you two questions.
Yes. My apologies, Chairperson, I could not capture the second one.
You've got 11 posts. How many are vacant?
That's the part I wanted to explain. I would say now.
No. You explain when I ask. I'm only asking the number. How many are vacant?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. The positions that are vacant for the executive directors are 6.
There are 6, so you've got 5 that are filled and there are 6 that are vacant.
Arithmetically, that will be correct. That's why, yes, but it's not the case, Honorable Chairperson.
All right, explain yourself.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Since the promulgation of municipal staff regulations, which were eliminating the number of directorates unless you apply for waiver, I need to chronologically explain myself when I said in 2016 there was a staff establishment that have 11 directorates. Subsequently to that, there was promulgation of municipal staff regulations in 2021 that were allowing a council to review its staff establishment. As a metro, we had a lapse of time to ensure compliance with the amendments with the introduction of municipal staff regulations. And the council adopted a two-pronged approach in terms of phases in dealing with the staff of establishment. In December 2024, the council approved a functional structure and also a macro structure that has grouped the capabilities and reduced the number of directorates. In the structure that was approved in 2024 in December by council, it has approved INE, ENE.
Just don't do that. Give us numbers only.
Okay. It has approved 7. I'm not saying a number. I think it has approved 7 directorates for implementation by the municipality as part of phase 1 in terms of the functional and macro structure, thereby requesting support from National COGTA, Treasury, SALGA, in terms of the transition to go to the operational structure. That is why I was explaining myself to say, if we take into consideration the council decision of December 2024, which was approved by council, the vacancies that are there are 4 to be exact, Honorable Chairperson.
And how many are filled?
COO and now the CFO.
That doesn't give you 7, it gives you 6.
There is. Apologies, I'm recollecting my thoughts, but which position have I omitted because I was talking about section 56. Can you pardon me, Chairperson? Because it's INE, Infrastructure and Engineering, Electricity and Energy, Community Services, COO, Corporate Services, Budget and Treasury, Planning and Development. Yes, there are 7. So planning and development, the contract only lasted last week. Maybe it's the one that I've omitted when I counted the vacancies. Then
Okay,
it's corporate.
let's come back to the numbers. Yes. You've got 7 and only how many are filled?
The positions that have filled is the one of the CFO and the one of the COO. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
So 5 are vacant?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson.
For how long have they been vacant?
It's more than 4 years, INE.
No, that should be enough. Don't worry, that should be enough. So you are saying, in terms of the latest council decisions of December 2024, you've got 7 directorates, or 7 directorates, of which 5 are vacant for the past 4 years and 2 have been filled.
Honorable Chairperson, not all of them for 4 years. Corporate services was vacant since March. Planning and development was vacant since last week. E&E has been vacant for a year. The longest position that has been vacant without being filled is the position of INE, Infrastructure and Engineering. Thank you.
That's the 4 years?
Yes.
Is that the 4 years?
Yes, it's almost 4 years. We say Infrastructure and Engineering, Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, let's come back then to this issue. Okay, firstly, I'm not sure why you should have a confusion about the 7 and 11. Well, I assume that what determines your numbers is the latest council approval, which in terms of your explanation should have been December 2024, and therefore whatever happened before no longer gets considered. So we're dealing with 7 posts and we're dealing with only 2 that have been filled. Now, what I'm not understanding, and I wanted to clarify, is the issue of the matters not serving in council. What is in these matters that should have served in council and haven't served for the past 4 months?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. In terms of the provision of Section 56 of the Municipal Systems Act, it's very specific that the council must appoint an acting senior manager for a period as prescribed. Because of the challenges in terms of the council appointing the senior managers, they were appointed by the acting city manager for ratification by council. So when the items are submitted to council for their consideration and ratification and further decision-making is the one that has not been discussed by council and be deferred and or withdrawn, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get closer to the issue then. So which means you've got directors who are in acting positions but have no approval from council.
Correct, Honorable Chairperson.
Do you know which ones, how many?
I will say, Chairperson, the 5 of them or all of them, because the last one that was submitted in council was in December 2024. Subsequent to that, there has never been a discussion and a resolution of a council on the matter.
You sound like an HR specialist. Would you say that's legal?
Honorable Chairperson, it's not legal.
So you've got five directors who are acting outside the authority of council.
Correct, Honorable Chairperson.
Do you know why the council is either not ratified or has not or has rejected the items?
Honorable Chairperson, I've looked at the records. I don't know the reason. It's just deferred back or withdrawn, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Chair and honorable members, I would like to check here the following. Whether the acting executive directors are being remunerated for acting. If they are,
Why don't we just get a straight answer just now?
Okay.
Yeah, let's get the straight answer, then we can proceed. Can you explain that, Mrs. Takiso?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. They are not remunerated, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you. Please proceed, honorable member.
No, Chairperson, I think it will be important that at this stage or later stage, maybe the province, COCTA, should actually speak on this issue in terms of oversight and support with regard to this issue, because seemingly this is a disaster. We're having a metro operating in this manner. We're in a disaster here. I think COCTA actually should actually speak on this issue and take us through in terms of their oversight and support with regard to this item. Thank you.
Mayor.
Chair, the situation is quite abnormal because preparation to present the item is done, but the difficulty has always been on the council agreeing on the incumbents.
Let's start it this way. You got 5 vacancies. What has been done to fill them before we get to council?
Okay. What has been done, Chair, is that firstly in December 2024, we endorsed the new structure as per the regulation of COCTA, which meant that there's a reduction from 11 directorates to the 7. And that from that council decision, we then started the process of advertising for the COO.
You could shorten it, Mayor, by just telling me which ones have you tried to fill and what have you done, and then make it close. This going back to the issue, I'm going to interrupt now because it's been given to us already.
Okay. So Chair, the organogram was passed which was a
Sorry, Mayor, no, I'm not asking about that. I'm just asking you what 5 vacancies, has anything been done to fill them, leave the rest?
the 4 vacancies, Chair, are in progress of being filled. 2 have closed their adverts closed. The infrastructure and engineering and electricity and energy have closed on the 4th. And the one the 2 of planning and development, which is a combination of human settlement and economic development, has been advertised and psychometric tests are done. We are waiting for the city manager to close off the process, including the one of corporate service. So 2 interviews are already done. Psychometric tests are done. It's a matter of the panel reconvening so that appointments happen. And the other 2, the adverts closed on Monday.
It gives us 4. It sounds like we should be having 5.
The
Am I
5th
wrong?
one is community service. We will probably be reviewing that aspect of the organogram because it's not going to be viable.
You're not feeling that one.
No, we'll take it for a review so that we separate the departments instead of combining the 3. Because it's 3 departments that are combined: public health, sport, and safety. So it will really be difficult to get one manager that can run the 3 departments, because your safety needs a qualified person with competencies.
But what you're saying is that there's 4 are in the process of being filled.
Yes.
1 you are not gonna fill.
One is the one we will fill it, because we must take the item to council for a review of that particular.
But you have not taken any action to fill it yet.
Not yet.
Okay, now that's fine. That's all I wanted to get. And the reason why we want to get that is it's an abnormal situation to have only 2 out of 5 executive directors. And we said earlier we wanted to get the details of those who are acting. And we did ask that you are going to submit all of that to us. We're concerned about this, and we want you to explain to us, how do you explain the situation of managers who are acting without the authority of council?
Well, Chair, it's the council that appoints these managers, and when the report is taken and council defers it to the next meeting, we can't leave a vacuum. So there's got to be people who are discharging the function.
And your legal team says, what is the legal status of the decisions they make?
We have not sought any legal advice from them.
You don't think you should?
I think we should, because even in our correspondence to the minister and MEC around the matter, because we did cite our the fact that we want people to act on the old structure instead of the new one. We did request, and then the response was that stick with the structure you have and we continue with the recruitment.
So what's saying that?
It was the MEC.
Okay, we'll go to the MEC just now. Have you been given an explanation as to why the matters didn't get resolved in council? You're always there. You submit the matters.
Yes, Chair. It's because it's part of the complexities of running a coalition government, because we're not finding each other.
So it's the politics of disagreement.
It's politics at play in the council.
Speaker?
No, Chair, the executive mayor is correct to say that most of the times when these items surfaced in council, it was withdrawn by the executive mayor who tables items.
The same executive mayor. Why did she say, why did she withdraw them?
It's like as what the mayor says, sometimes you find that political parties does not agree on a name of who must
act.
Who must act in their directorates, because some of these political parties has got their own directorates. Sometimes it's hence we've decided.
So that I can understand. So you're saying you've got different parties occupying the executive positions, and when it's time to appoint, you have a disagreement as to which MMC or which party wants which person to act in the portfolio they control.
It's like
So
that.
that's the basic issue.
Sometimes.
Sometimes the other times?
Sometimes it's an issue of CVs. Some other times it's.
Okay. So what are CVs?
See, in order for acting appointment, there's 3 CVs needed for council. Councillors would ask for CVs. Sometimes it's the information in the item is not sufficient. It's those type of issues.
So you've given me 2 reasons now. The first reason is political disagreement, which means is the parties fighting over who must act. Then
Yes.
sometimes it's CVs, which means the mayoral office didn't submit the required information. So those are the 2 reasons.
Sorry, Chair. Sorry, Chair. Can you come again? Sorry, Chair. Sorry, Chair. Your last.
Mayor, you are intimidating the speaker. No. Okay, let me ask you, Mayor. If there's a problem of CVs in the submission, then must be your fault.
No, Chair. The appointment of executive directors is a competence of a city manager. So it's a report that would be coming
Who
directly.
submits?
It's supposed to be administration, the city manager.
No role.
The mayor does have a role because normally before we go to council, in fact, Troika, when before we go to council, we sit for a draft agenda, and before we go to council, we also peruse and advise what is outstanding.
So why would a memo with less than required numbers of CVs pass when the mayor was there and she didn't say there was something wrong?
Chair, I'm very sure I would have said so. I would never agree that something that has no supporting documents to go through. But
Okay, you're not being straight with us. You must say, when it happened, you tell the city manager that you don't have enough CVs. Then I know what you're saying to us.
Yes, Chair. In one instance, when the report came with no full information, I did.
So what happened to the mayor? I mean, what happened to the municipal manager? What did they then do about it? You know what we're trying to understand is how does the issue get withdrawn by the same mayor or the same by the same mayor or the same city manager who were there when they were preparing for it? We just don't understand that.
No, Chair, if the report was the report of the city manager, it will be withdrawn by the writer, not by me. When the report is mine, it gets withdrawn by me.
But
so in this instance, this report is the report of the city manager, not my report. I would assume Chair, that it was his withdrawal, because it would depend on the discussions in the meeting.
When you were there, there was never been a withdrawal.
There has been one withdrawal.
And what happened there? Just talk about that one.
I can't remember the facts, Chair. I don't want to misinform the committee or misplace facts. Then tomorrow I am said to have misled the committee.
No one will say that. You must just, if you say you don't remember, that's enough. There's something we're trying to understand, is that you've got people who are acting without council authority. We want to know why that is the case, and we're trying to get to that point, and that's why we're trying to get you to give us something concrete. That's the basis. Honourable members?
No, Chair. Chair, I once said this alliance is unholy. It's not in the interest of the people of Nelson Mandela. Is in the interest of your own political power and perks that you enjoy. I wonder, Chair, if there are periodical or structured meetings that actually are taking place, by these coalition partners. Because this coalition has been having frustrations and toxic. As a result of this toxic engagement or alliance or marriage, people of Nelson Mandela suffer. So, Chair, we are having a serious political crisis in that metro. So, which is now more than necessary that the coalition partners engage and agree to disagree, if needs be, reach a consensus for the interest of the residents of Nelson Mandela. Because it is not good for the people of Nelson Mandela having such a coalition government or arrangement that is this toxic. You can't even agree on acting positions. So, Chair, this leadership deserves jail. Legally speaking, as this leadership in front of us, you really need to apologize to the residents of Nelson Mandela, because you are disappointing your constituency, your residents, because of this power struggle. If you can't agree on acting positions, so how are you agreeing on something that is bigger than acting positions if you can't agree on mere acting positions? So this is not actually a coalition that actually is really needed or people have voted for. I know that it was their choice to vote like that, but if you can't agree, you don't deserve to be this coalition, because you are not serving the people of Nelson Mandela. So I once said, actually, you are having a marriage that is toxic. So we have to address that. So I think, Chair, the provincial cocktail, when I share among dinner, we want to come Zulu, into Sagit, man, as the young dinner. I think a cocktail really will have to tell us ukuthi wenzani or wenzeni, because we as this committee chair, we also have a duty and responsibility in terms of oversight. So if the provincial COGTA doesn't perform, doesn't do its own function, it's our duty as this committee to deal with COGTA in the province. So COGTA as a department will have to take us through in terms of what actually as a department, as a province, in terms of oversight and support, what have we done about this crisis? Because we're in a crisis, we're in a dilemma. Thank you, Chair.
Can we get the MMCs to come on board? I don't know how many councillors are there. We're going to ask each one to just give us a quick reflection. The issue on the table is there are officials who are acting without the authority of council, and you are the council. Can we get your comments? We've heard the mayor, we've heard the speaker. We just want to hear your side. Let's start with MMC Mafana. We'll then go to Mafaya. Then we'll go to the MPEC chair.
No.
And then
No.
I'll find out who else is there. Let's proceed.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. You see, Chair, at GLU, it's something else. Because there's a GLU arrangement, there are council processes. But when it comes to GLU space, council processes are just been parallelized. That does not mean what now is being said here. As we as councillors, we don't want to attend to, but decisions are taken by GLU. That arrangement has got a very bad attitude towards governance. Because it's true what has been painted by the mayor and the speaker, that items are prepared with recommendations. But when it comes now, there's a council meeting, it has been told that the items have been withdrawn because the GLU didn't agree who's supposed to be deployed on which department. That's it. That's an issue. You see, office is political. You see, yes, we can look on this thing on the issue of governance, but it's political because those political parties give directives to those deployees. You see, what's supposed to be processed in council. That's an honest thing I want to tell the committee. You see, thank you.
Thank you. Next, MMC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Good evening to you and good evening to honorable members. MMC for Safety and Security. Honorable Chair, I want to reflect on what... apologies, Chair. Nguluyanda Lau, MMC for Safety and Security. May I proceed, Honorable Chair?
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, I want to reflect on what MMC Mafana has reflected on. It is true that we have the political instability and moreover, in particular at the safety and security, there is an issue that was raised by the speaker of 3 CV principle decision taken by the council. It mostly happened at safety and security where there will be 1 CV brought. And the reason for that, you will find all those who qualify to submit CVs for their interest, they will write the letters of withdrawal. By the time it goes to council meeting, there is only one CV that shows interest. And at some time, I would go to the city manager and ask, because the 3 CV principle is a resolution of the council meeting, and the acting city manager would say, when people are not showing interest, and there's nothing that we can do. So there will be those engagements that we can't go, because it is obvious that that particular person that is having a CV is a preferred one. So it's one of the reasons also that the items are being deferred back. That's my submission, Honorable Chair and honorable members.
Thank you very much, Councillor
Okay, Chair.
Lau. Yes, next one.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Chair, maybe I would start by saying anything that has to do with acting, it's supposed to be dealt with by the city manager. And in that, any items that must go to council, the finalization of those items, the speaker, the city manager, the director in the office of the speaker, the secretariat, after they have served in the mayoral committee, those people sit to finalize which items must go to council. They are the people who check that everything that will be deliberated on, discussed in council, is in the agenda. Also, every item that is in the agenda legally, illegal, and also if there is any item that has to do with budget, are there budget comments that are positive for such item to be tabled before council? So for any item to get to council without having all the documentation that is needed, that office, those offices that sits on the finalization of those of the agenda, suppose at that level, know that going to council, this is what is supposed to be in. If it's not in, then it's something else, Chair. That's the procedure. It's supposed to be like that. Having to get to council, and in council knowing that we do not have CVs, it's not supposed to be like that, Chair. And yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. Of course, the issue of us having in coalition partners, yes, of course, there would be the partners that would not want to appreciate whoever that has been recommended by the city manager, and then that would maybe at times cause us, maybe the executive mayor, to defer the item. But ordinarily and procedurally, the items should be known at that level of the city manager, the speaker, the director of the speaker, the secretariat, that is the agenda in line with what should be discussed in council. Thank you very much, Chair.
Very diplomatic. I heard your view. Thank you. Can we get the impact chair, and then there's Kanya Ngisha, who will be after the impact chair.
Chairperson, thank you once again. The unfortunate part, Chairperson, is that I don't sit on the meetings where the MEICO or the Troika decides on which items are going to council. And also, I don't have a prerogative of EDs that are acting. I believe that it is a prerogative of the city manager in consultation with the MMC and also the executive mayor. Sorry. So that is unfortunate that I only meet items when they are in council. I thank you, Chair.
No, not so quick. Let's get back. When you are in council, would you say you understand why some of these issues, okay, put it the other way. You do agree that having officials acting without council agreement is irregular? And what would be your view about what to do with that or what causes that?
Correct, Chairperson. I understand that the EDs that are acting without their items are going to council. It's irregular. However, when it comes to council, where we raise these particular issues, Chairperson. Thank you.
Kanya, Councillor Kanya.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chairperson, I just want to say that the notion that wants to portray that the GLU arrangement is responsible for the non-appointment of senior managers is untrue and incorrect. Because I'm the MMC of Budget and Treasury deployed by the Economic Freedom Fighters. Also, I am the secretary of the GLU. And we sit just like Troika sits, and we go through agenda items even before council meetings. And we agree most of the time. We've never disagreed on acting executive directors or acting senior managers. So it's untrue that we've got certain issues because we know the process. The process is that the city manager, in consultation with the MMC, after consulting with the MMC, the city manager takes the decision and creates an item and it goes to council. And council is supposed to support it. We don't have powers to withdraw any item. And if an item were to be tabled and not to be withdrawn, we would most likely support it because we would have seen it. We would not see it for the first time. Because in any event, agenda items are prepared according to the rules of order 5 days before a council meeting. So all political parties have got an opportunity to be able to read, digest, and go to council fully prepared so that we can be able to make an informed decision. There's never been a period of time where we rejected or asked for the withdrawal of an item of appointing an executive director or senior manager. So if the acting city manager withdraw it, the acting city manager then must take responsibility for withdrawing that particular item. If anyone can be able to prove and state that the GLU or these political parties, because of the coalition arrangement, was responsible for an item being withdrawn, I assure you, Chairperson, that they will not be able to do that because it is untrue. Thank you.
Mayor. You said there's another councillor.
Yes, Councillor Buyeo was part of the meeting.
He has not raised his hand, but is he at the city hall
Was not there.
Yes,
He
Chairperson.
was there in the morning.
right now?
Yes.
Oh, Councillor Buyeo?
No, it's
Yes,
Councillor Mafaya, yes.
yes, Councillor, Chairperson, I'm here. Connected.
Yes, please proceed, Councillor Buya.
No, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this item, Chair. Greetings to you and greetings to the committee as well as the colleagues that are in the meeting.
Sorry, Chair, for the issue of compliance. I think actually the councillor will have to identify himself properly.
You're quite correct. Actually, Councillor Buya, in the first instance, we needed your name to be clearly identified. And we also would have liked to see your face, but in the event you have a challenge, that would be fine. But your name needs to be properly identified.
No, thank you very much, Chair. My name is Tsono Nopuyeye. I'm a councillor. Also, the
Even on your gadget, eh? you need your name to be identified on your gadget.
Yes, I will do that after. Let me just make my submission quickly, Chair, and then I will look at that.
That's fine.
My name is Tono Nopuye. I'm a councillor, also the MMC for Public Health. And without maybe saying too much, Chair, I would also like to align myself with the previous speaker. I think the policy on acting is quite clear in Nelson Mandela Bay, is that, especially on the executive directors, it is the prerogative of the city manager, but the policy says in consultation with the member of the mayoral committee of that particular portfolio or directorate. And some of us, we've been in the departments where we've had permanent executive directors whose tenure has come to an end. We have never had a disagreement with any city manager about who must act. So I think I would want to align myself and maybe I wouldn't want to say I disagree with the speakers that spoke before me, but the reality of the matter is what Councillor Ngesha said. Even the GLU arrangement that is being spoken about, I think I want to align myself with that because that is what I know. I've been part of the GLU for some time. We've never had these disagreements when it comes to actings within the GLU arrangement. We've always worked with the mayor after the end, but in the main, it's the city manager's prerogative. So I think let me stop there. But we take note, Chair, of the seriousness of the matter. And I think it's proper that it has come to this so that we also understand that our non-actioning of the decisions that we need to take is creating problems, both not just admin, but also legally. I think you are putting it correctly when you are showing us that we might have we have an illegal situation on our hands that would need to be corrected. And that decision is something that is not difficult to take, but for whatever reason, we are not taking it. I think let me end there, Chairperson, but I want to align myself with the previous speaker that we do not have such problems as partners within this coalition arrangement. And I think it's quite unfortunate that we hear now that the coalition arrangement now is a problem. Because we've always been of the view that we have a government that is stable because we talk to each other. We never really disagree as partners. We have not had disagreements, but for whatever reason, we are not responsible for when items are taken to council and when they are withdrawn in council. There are specific people in terms of the act or in terms of the law who brings council items to council and then who withdraws items in council. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Provincial Cocter and the DG
My
of
hand
Cocter
is
will
up,
come
Chair.
in. Excuse me?
You noted me in the chamber, Chair, MMC Mafaya.
No. No. You spoke.
It was me, Chair, and then Councillor Buyeye came in, and then it was my hand. It was my hand that was up.
No, you spoke.
Thank you very much, Chair.
No. You spoke, didn't you? On this
No,
matter.
Chair, it was Councillor Lawu. It's Mafana who spoke, not Mafaya.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay.
No, it's Mafana and
Oh, my
Mafaya.
apologies.
Okay, Chair.
Yeah, you must. She didn't speak. Honourable members, did she not speak on this matter? Honourable Mafaya.
Yes, Chair. Thank
Actually,
you.
you remember what I said when we finished? I said you are very diplomatic.
Yeah. It was in a matter of.
No, it was the same matter, madam. You will not come back.
Okay, Chair.
Or Cocter. It was. We were talking about this matter, and I said to you, your comments were very diplomatic. I was listening to you. You just got me a bit confused, though. But no, we will not allow you to come back. Let's get Cooperative Provincial, and I'm trying to get us to close this meeting actually.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, please allow me to also, when I'm responding, give the background in respect of this, the genesis of this whole challenge. I'll first respond.
I am not persuaded at all.
Is it, Chair?
Make it brief, and you've got 3 minutes. I will count on it. If there are details, we'll ask you questions. There is no way I'm going to allow you to drag. All we want to know from you, this situation is abnormal. Why are you quiet about it? And if you have done something, do it in 3 minutes and tell us.
Okay. Chair, it's abnormal. We agree. What we have done, there are 2 letters that we've written to the municipality. They were requesting for the acting extension of Mr. Biela. And we indicated to the municipality we never received as a department any request to the MSA for the acting of the EDs. And we then named a list of EDs that we don't have any correspondence to that effect. We have been supporting, Chair, the municipality. That's why I'm saying there's a history behind. In 2021, there were new staff regulations that were promulgated. Now, those had an impact in respect of filling positions in the metro because the 2021 amendments of the Systems Act wanted now for appointment of new EDs, they should be permanent in nature. It was non-negotiable. It had to be done like that. Simultaneously, the regulations were then directed municipalities, even metros, on the structure, which Ms. Dakusa Yolanda spoke about. We supported the municipality. There was even a correspondence, a request to National to allow the municipality time and deviate from the circular because they had to first attend to the issue of the structure, the organogram, before appointing. Hence, there's been a period of time where there are no EDs because the municipality couldn't recruit because they have to align that with the new structure. Now, we supported, there was a request and the National Department, UTICOC, we supported their motivation to say, can they be excused or be given period of time to attend to this? Because as the time went on, there was also the emergence of the new trade reforms that are supposed to be taking on with Metro, so that it had an impact on how their organogram should be. So we supported their request and we then said, let's take step by step by ensuring that the structure will be aligned to the prototype. The mistake, which I am happy that the leadership is agreeing, was to just allow people to act without a council resolution and also without informing MEC. Hence, we had 2 letters that were written to, one to the mayor on the 12th of August 2025, indicating to the mayor the unhappiness of the MEC in respect of this. But there's another letter which we wrote in 2026 to say, let's speed up the issue of addressing the issue of the municipal staff regulations, because that is basically the core that led to the municipality not being able to appoint, because they have to appoint people permanently and the structure had to be in proper, as executive mayor indicated, that some departments that are huge had to be swamped and there couldn't be proper service delivery in that regard. So that's why I'm saying, Chair, there's genesis, there's history behind this whole issue, but it doesn't make it correct for people to be allowed to act without any council resolution or council decision.
Do you have anybody from National Cooperative?
Well, Chair.
Honorable Mkalipi?
Just a quick one. I just want to make a follow-up on what was just presented now by the Provincial Cooperative. Let's say we are and a loving provincial Cocta who loves to do things happening. So now you write a letter in 2025 in October. There's no action. Then what do? You just come to Parliament and tell us that no, there's a history in this matter. We acted in 2025. It's 2026. While you know very well that it's your duty as a provincial Cocta to oversee the failures of the municipality and intervene immediately. I just want to ask that question, Chair, because last time when we dealt with Nelson Mandela, we raised this thing. If you remember very well, we even said to them, because the mayor told us about these staff regulations that had to be waiting for the CFO. And then you specifically asked Chair Kuti, why do you have to wait for these staff regulations while we have finished with the processes of the CFO? But now we're still getting the same answers. So it's looked like there's no one who wants to take the responsibility. I'm happy that you are bringing the National Cocta in order for us to have a way forward, because if you are going to deal with these issues and then you are going to have these issues again, and it does not make sense at all to us. So I want to ask specific from the Provincial Cocta, after you've written a letter saying that you are very worried about the situation, what do? Why are you not acting swiftly if they are not responding accordingly? Thanks, Chair.
Doctor?
Chair, it might appear not acting swiftly, but subsequent to the letters, the municipality started to consider filling in the vacancies. Hence, there are positions now that are going to be filled, the adverts and everything, the processes that are happening now, beginning of this current calendar year.
Do you have the DG on the line? Is DG still around? Anyone from Cocta nationally? If not, let's get the delegations. Okay, go for it.
Yes, good evening, Chair. I am still here. I was hoping that Dr. Naidu will come in, because this is a matter that is managed by Mr. Tebogo Mtla-Shuping and Dr. Naidu in the department, the issue of staff regulations, especially the part that talks to the metro trading services, because we met with all the mayors, not just Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, and we agreed on how that matter is going to be managed going forward. Dr. Naidu, do you want to come in here on this matter? For you, Chair.
Yes, proceed. Dr. Naidu, you want to come in? Direko, you are also going to come in. Let's see if we're getting Dr. Naidu. If not, Direko come in, and then we will come back to Naidu if he wants to come in.
Chair, mine is also in line with what Honorable Mkalip has said. I wanted to check on the side of Cocta as to what are the limitations in terms of them assisting the municipality, because since we've been here, since we've been with these municipalities, we really do not find joy on the role of Cocta in assisting municipalities. So can they please take us along as to what are the challenges that they encounter when they are intervening in municipalities, and is there any other plan that they can come with so that they can ensure that they turn around the situations in municipalities? Because really, Chair, I feel like that Cocta and Treasury are the contributing factors to the situation that we find ourselves in, because in all our meeting we invite them and we give them tasks, but when we come back again they will complain, or they will just say we try to engage the municipality and there's nothing that is coming out of that. So in case where they have engaged municipality and there seems to be no lack of cooperation on the side of municipality, what is it that they are doing as Cocta? What are other measures that they can employ to ensure that they turn around those municipalities, or to enforce the municipality to do what is expected from them? Thank you, Chair.
Provincial Cocta.
Chair, we have been supporting the municipality in respect of implementation of the 2021 staff regulations. We've been going through with them to an extent that we saw their plight in respect of not being able to implement that. Hence, we even wrote a supporting letter when they were making a request to be excused or to be temporarily be given opportunity to look to attend to the matter. We supported their motivation because we could see the realities on the ground, difficulties of them applying what was there. Hence, now the National Department ended up reviewing provision, paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 of the regulations because we raised the issue that it's a problem. So we've been working with the municipality. The only thing, Chair, that I'm indicating that we as a department are also indicating is not proper is for having people acting without a council, but the municipality could not recruit at the time because they had to first look at the issue of the structure because the people that they would be recruiting were going to be permanent. So a person that has been employed permanently should be in line with what the structure is. Hence, Oyolanda is saying the council ended up reducing the number of EDs that were there in order to align with the regulations of 2021 and having fewer number of departments, but the factor of the trade, municipal trade services kicked in also giving another dimension into the whole program.
Members, let's close this issue. Firstly, let's say we did request full details of those vacancies. We've now got a sense of how many, but we need the specifics, which one is vacant, and for how long each one has been vacant. Then we want to also know how far is the process of filling. We need this all in writing now so that we've got concrete specifics. We also need to get acting. Who has been acting in these positions since 2024 when you agreed on the structure? And we want to know for how long each one person has acted, and we want to know who had authority to act from the council and who didn't have authority from council, and which one the request was withdrawn, which one was turned down by council. And we need that. It should not be difficult to get that. So we'll give you a week so you'll get that back to us. Honorable Dollar, I'm really not wishing to open anymore.
No, I'm not opening it.
First, before I allow you, I must get an undertaking. Nobody's going to raise their hand after that.
Just for the record only.
Okay, but let me get an undertaking. No one else raises their hand now. Right, let's get
just for the record only, Chair. I asked a question in terms of remuneration of acting positions. I'd like
answered.
Yes, but for the record, I'd like the CFO, the Speaker, and the Mayor to actually undertake that. That doesn't happen. It's not happening at the municipality.
Okay. I think that is clear. Finish. What's your issue? Okay. Can we always try and avoid this cross discussion? So that's what we require. We've got a week for that. But let's come back to the real concern. Now, I've heard Mrs. Takiso went a long way explaining the circular and the details. I see the DDG is also wanting to go to that issue. Thank you for that information. It's not quite our issue right now. Our issue is specific here, vacancies and acting. Those are the two issues that we are dealing with. And so we want to say to you that it's unacceptable to have so many vacancies in a metro, an institution of this nature. to have people who should be in decision-making positions not being filled. It's unacceptable. It has to be resolved. And we need to be very quite upfront about it. Now here, national COCTA, provincial COCTA, you feel comfortable, you've done quite a bit, but we're saying there isn't a way we can justify this. There cannot be 5 out of 7 executive directors all in acting capacity. It's an indication of dysfunctionality. So we are saying it is not acceptable. You're going to have to go and resolve it. Now we're going to raise this issue with the minister because we believe that more than just what we have done needs to be done to close this issue. The second aspect of it is to have 5 directors, acting directors, who are acting but have got no council authority to act. Now again, that's irregular. And we need you, when you give us this information, to get us a legal opinion, Mayor, about the implications of this. What would this mean in terms of the decision-making processes of the municipality? And we're going to have a situation like what we've already seen, where there is confusion as to whether the particular individual did act or didn't act, and whether the decisions that they actually made were authorized. Was it's very possible that somebody could actually go and challenge those decisions. Is there such a risk? We need to get that opinion of your own teams. Now, having said so, we don't understand the idea of a council that will not confirm the authority of those who are in acting positions. Now, there's been a number of explanations. The one explanation is that sometimes the council rejects the notion of somebody acting. Sometimes the council, the submission is withdrawn before it is acted upon. Now, if the reasons that have been proffered here are anything to go by, one of disagreement between party leaders on who should act, then we want to condemn that. Political disagreement as a reason or a cause for instability in a municipality has to be condemned. You cannot have any form of party political differences that should land us in a situation where there is someone who cannot be appointed properly because the parties are disagreeing. The politics of the party leaders have nothing to do with who is the most competent person here. This is a municipal administrative structure. Now, the aspect of whether the MM or the city manager and the MMCs disagree because of disagreement of party political deployment is actually completely unacceptable. You cannot have that as a factor in the running of the municipality. Now I'm saying this, I know that some of the members have actually said that's not the case, but we had it from here. So there must be some basis for it, and we're saying it needs to be condemned. Now we therefore need to send a message to the leadership of the coalition government. You are not going to be the first, you're not going to be the last coalition government. And there isn't a way we can create an impression that when people have voted, they're at the mercy of the disagreement or agreement of coalition partners. Whether you are whatever party, you have a responsibility over the same constituency, the same municipality, the same residents. And therefore, there is not an explanation that can be accepted by us that would explain why party political differences and disagreement in a coalition situation should actually result in any form of disruption of services. We don't accept that. Maybe we don't accept it not only because from where we sit, we believe that there's a point at which party political difference don't matter. What matters is service delivery to the people. But we've also been through a study tour where we know that the differences of political parties has nothing to do with service delivery. It actually has to do with the fact that whoever has been elected has only a mandate to deliver the services for the community. So we want to call on the leaders of this municipality, go and resolve whatever the issues are, and would like to see you taking this matter of the authorization of the acting managers to a conclusion so that there's proper authorization in the municipality, by the council. So from where we sit, we're going to be asking MEC to come back to us and give us a report within a month to know whether this matter has been resolved or not. And we'll also be raising the matter with the national minister, that this matter needs to be closed. And there's no way we can actually, in any way, identify or sympathize with any form of disagreement. And somewhere when you listen, it becomes a little like there's a bit of political bullying of the city manager. Now, I'm saying it sounds like, knowing that some of the members have disagreed. And I'm saying that there's no one who's got a license to obstruct the operations of the municipality because of party political differences. So we want to say from the point of view of this committee, we've got a month. We're going to be asking the MEC to come and bring back a report. The report about the vacancies is a week. The report about what has been done and whether this matter has been resolved is a month. So we will be taking from there. We close this matter. And honorable members, we have stretched the meeting much, much beyond where we would have liked it to go. We have Advocate Kwaiman, or is on the platform. Sharon? From SIU.
Good evening, Chairperson. He may be driving home, Chairperson.
Sorry, who's speaking?
Can you see my face, Chair?
Sorry, who is speaking?
It's Zodwa Sibe from the SIU, Chairperson.
Okay, just hold on a second.
No, sorry, Chair. Chair, the reason why I'm asking the CFO, the Speaker, and the Mayor to confirm on record that actually they're not the acting directors, the executive director, are not being paid. It's just that I was informed that actually they are being paid. So that's why I was asking that actually they should confirm on record that indeed the acting executive directors are not being paid for record purposes.
Okay, you did not indicate that was the issue. You made a statement and I said that they must note it. So let's get back then to the CFO. CFO, your response to the statement?
Chairperson, as I indicated earlier on, payroll is under corporate services. I'm sure the colleague that can confirm in certainty is Mrs. Dakuse when it comes to payments of salaries.
You don't know?
I cannot confirm on record. I can only talk about myself, Chairperson.
And what do you say about yourself?
I have not been paid acting allowance.
When were you acting?
I have been acting since 1st of May 2024.
Before you got to this position?
Before I got to this position, yes.
Before being CFO?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let's close that.
Thanks.
Speaker.
Sorry, Chair.
I don't want us to drag too much.
No, if you recall, I asked a question when Mrs. Dakuse was talking.
Yes, I do recall.
That actually, what actually Mrs. Dakuse is presenting to this committee, the mayor and the speaker and the CFO, they own it.
Oh, Honorable Mtola, I think let's not interrupt the process. You have asked, initially you made a statement that they should make sure that it doesn't happen. So I said they need to note this, that statement. Then you said, no, now you've got information that they are being paid. And you are then saying, you need them to be on record on the matter. I've just done to the CFO, and I was going to do the two, but Mrs. Dagusa actually answered the question categorically and said no. Mrs. Dagusa answered categorically and said no. So because of that, let's allow these two, the mayor and the speaker, to make that under that confirmation. The CFO, I'm asking him directly because he is the CFO. He is saying he is not aware, but he was never paid. That's fine. Now, let's go to the other two and that gets their commitment on this matter.
Thank you, Chair. To be honest, I have no idea whether all of them are getting acting allowance.
You've never been involved in any such discussion?
The item has never come to council. It's like they said that the acting, the directors are acting without council decision, so it hasn't come to council yet. But in terms of the payment for acting, I haven't been in a discussion like that.
Oh, that's fine. Mayor?
Chair, I can't confirm or deny that information as I'm not glued up with the latest process. I have no information, Chair, around it. I will ask Mrs. Dakose to confirm.
No. I've already asked Mrs. Dagusa. I just wanted to know what is your view on this matter?
Well, Chair,
you say you don't know about it. All right, let's close it at that. Mrs. Dagusa, come back.
Honorable Chairperson.
You want to raise an issue? No. Okay. And I saw your mic up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Ms. Dagusa?
Honorable Chairperson.
Proceed, yes.
I hereby confirm on record that the acting EDs are not being paid the acting allowance because of the process that has not been completed, as there's no council decision on the matter. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
No, you have not answered the question. You had said something else before, and I thought you were saying that they are not being paid. Now, you are saying maybe they are, but you are the head of this corporate services. You can't be guessing. You need to be telling something concrete. Not everyone at this level is there anybody who's getting paid for being acting, for acting? Is there anyone?
Honorable Chairperson, there is no one who is being paid an acting allowance in acting in a position of EDs of senior managers within the institution currently.
So what is it that you don't know?
I'm saying there is no one.
You said you can't confirm. What is it that you can't confirm?
You have, Honorable Chairperson, I'm not sure, maybe you did not capture myself correct. I said I am confirming that there is no one that is being paid an acting allowance.
You are confirming that no one is being paid?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson.
Okay. No, I thought you said you cannot confirm. That's why I got a bit confused. That's fine. I thought at the beginning that's what you said. So I thought it sounded different now. So Honorable Mtolo, we'll pick the matter up if we got concrete information on the table. So we close it. Right. Now, honourable members, there shall not be another comment until we close. We're gonna request, now I wanted to address the SIU team. There was Mr. Sibe on the line. So before I proceed, let me hear what you had to say, Mr. Sibe, from SIU.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good evening, Chair and honorable members, colleagues. Chairperson, I wanted to indicate that at the time that maybe Advocate Kwaimane is on the road, but I've since realized that she is still on the platform. So we are still here, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, we have a plea to you, to make to you. And our plea is that we wanted information on forensic investigations and any of the issues that are linked to any form of litigation or court processes, or the issues of consequence management that are all associated with your investigation. Now, you have submitted some information which we have, and at this point, we were not going to go into more details. It was just to inform the committee of the range of issues that we're investigating. Looking at the time we are at, I do not believe it's going to be fair to stress everybody by going through a report that has been submitted. We're going to therefore accept that your report has been tabled, and we're going to request that if there's any information that you think might have been missed out, that you will submit to the Secretariat, and then this committee will look at the information, and if we need to take it up further, we would then approach you. But we do not believe it is necessary to ask you to table any of the issues at this point. There was a point at which your team tabled information to this committee, but at this point we would like to accept that everything that's been tabled will be processed by the committee, and we'll take it up and raise it with you whenever we think it's necessary. That is the reason why I just wanted to see whether Advocate Kwaimane was with us. Can we leave it at that? Yes, you said noted. Thank you very much.
Noted.
Then the next issue is Mandela Bay Development Agency. There were a number of requests of information that we made. A lot of that information has been tabled to us. I'm going to request that the committee look at the information that has been tabled. There will not be any further discussion on this matter. As a matter of interest, we had not invited the Mandela Bay Development Agency. We wanted certain information, and the members had asked for specific information that we had received. So we'll pick the matter up at that level. But I see the members are here, but we're not in a position to engage because that was not our plan. Our plan was we wanted to get information from the mayor and from the MEC, and that information has been tabled. And so we would like to bring that matter also to a closure. So we'll pick up these issues after we've looked at all the information that has been submitted on the last two issues. Can we, I want us to close the meeting. Can we deal with the issue just after this? All right. So, honorable members, it's been a very long day, and we have been dragged beyond what we initially anticipated. There are a number of outstanding issues that we have asked that the mayor should table again for the committee. We have said some of the issues will still require us to further engage, and so we will then notify you at that point how far we want to deal with those issues. But having said so, let me say to the Nelson Mandela Bay team, and both in this meeting, in the city, in the Metro Council chamber, and those who are on the platform. Thank you very much for all the information. We've made our recommendations and taken concrete directives in terms of what we need done, and we would like to therefore thank you for this submission. We will come back to you once we've got the rest of the information to see how we take the matters forward. We want to then thank the various members who have been supporting us, starting from the Office of the Auditor General to the Director General of National COCTA, Treasury, National and Provincial, the MEC's Office, Director General, the Deputy Director General, and the team who are here. We want to thank you for all the support that you have given to this process. Let me thank all the honorable members. It's been really very long. We've done a lot of preparations to try and shorten this, but as you know, we end up with the situation of the taste of the pudding is in the eating. And so we've ended up having a longer meeting than we had originally scheduled for ourselves. Let me thank the Secretariat and the whole team of the Portfolio Committee support, communication, the researcher, and all the support team. Thanks very much. At this point, we want to bring this meeting to a closure, and I want to say everything of the best and enjoy the rest of whatever remains of the night. And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned. And to those on the platform, members and other staff and other colleagues, we really want to say thank you. We also adjourn your meeting in the platform. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Salutations, Paisan.
Excuse me? Okay.